Hi, Angela. I just want to thank you for coming to see me again today. What would you like to talk about this evening?
Well, I'm getting some pressures at my church to be more active.
Hmm.
And with everything that's on my plate right now, it's not something that I could, add to what I have going on just at the moment.
Okay, what are some of the things that your church is asking you right now?
Well, I'm a part of a marriage ministry. They
Hmm.
want me to, help think of more creative places for the couples to go, more Christian fun type things. And also, I'm in the choir.
Hmm.
So they're wanting us to, reach out to other churches. So maybe we can do like a gospel fest or something like that. They want me to kind of network, which
Okay.
is, I wouldn't mind doing it. But right now, like I said, with school and work and, my family, it's just not something I can add to my plate.
It sounds like you feel overwhelmed with with adding all these extra things into your daily routine right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, when I was first approached with it, I told him that I would, go home and kind of think about it, talk it over
Hmm.
with my husband. And I just know when I go back to talk with them, I'm going to let them know that this is not necessarily the best time for me to have as much input or be as active as as they need me to be. So I'm just going to, I don't know, politely, decline.
Hmm. So it sounds like you have given this a lot of thought. Basically, you have thought about, adding this to your plate will not only do you feel overwhelmed by it, but you notice that this is something that could possibly distract you from your studies and from your family.
Yeah, my beliefs on,
Hmm.
my faith is very important to me, and I know that I would not be where I'm at without that.
Hmm.
And so I guess that's really where the struggle comes from because you're supposed to always put that first, and
Right.
everything else will fall in line. So yeah, I have thought about it, and it's not something that I'm gonna put off forever. It's
Hmm.
just a decision that I'm making right now.
Okay, so it sounds like you're feeling some conflict between the things that you feel that you should be doing, but also things that are at the same time important right now, such as school and family.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, School, is very important. It's exposed me to so many different things.
Hmm.
Um, from a very positive perspective, I'm being able to engage with so many different types of people that
Hmm.
come from, so many different work, professional backgrounds and social backgrounds. And to me, that's great. As being an adult with kids and always having to deal with them, sometimes
Hmm.
SpongeBob gets a little old. So it's great to be able to get out
Right.
and share, you know, my dreams and my expectations with other people who are trying to obtain the same things that I'm trying to do. So that's good energy for me. I like that.
Okay, so it sounds like and along with learning what you are learning in the counseling program, you're broadening your social horizons. You're meeting new people, you're gaining different perspectives, and you're learning new techniques, ways of handling things.
Yes, and from an academic perspective,
Hmm.
it's making me step up. It's making me focus on things more that I wouldn't necessarily so do in my profession. Um, it's just making me pay more attention to detail, and it's making me be you know, a little bit more open to others as far as, listening to them and actually
Hmm.
trying to put myself in their shoes and kind of be, receptive to things that might happen. So it's doing a lot for me as a person.
Okay. What are some of these things that you feel that you are being more receptive or open to right now?
Well, for instance, we have to send sales reps. We work with sales reps more closely than anyone. We have to send them emails, and I have a template at work where I just copy and paste and I go on. But since I've been here, you know, the exposure of my writing and how I can expand or be more detailed has been exposed. You
Mm-hmm.
know, versus at work where it's just a copy and paste type of deal. I don't necessarily have to face that. So the fact that I've been able to come here and see that, that gives me a peace of mind. That gives me not a peace of mind, but that gives me, you know, I like it. I like the
Mm-hmm.
challenge of knowing that this is something that you need to improve and work at.
Okay, so you think you're learning some writing skills, it sounds like.
Mm.
Learning new ways of doing things, learning new ways of writing. Why don't you tell me about some more about what goes on at work?
Oh, geez. Well, right now, my boss is considering me for promotion to another department.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Risk. Risk is basically, you know, for example, you have a debit card, you misplace it, you lose it, you know, someone retrieves it, and they might do something faulty on your account. Well, me being in the risk department, I would kind of follow your transaction history, you know, see how you operate, deposits coming in and out. And if I were to see this, you know, incorrect thing happen on your account,
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, that's when I will step in, investigate, you know, and then go from there. So that's a positive thing. That's one thing that's going on at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another, the other side. I work in a group of seven. There's only seven people in our department. Site survey group. Basically, we send people out who are a third party company out to investigate companies who want to process credit cards with us. Well, I am, I guess, the energy of the group, if you will. I'm very, believe it or not, very positive, you know, at work, you know, trying to keep people going because you can become very bogged down. We get
Mm-hmm.
100 to 150 cases a day, you know, because Chase is a pretty large company. So, you know, a lot of people want to process with us. And so, you know, I've been feeling some type of way towards a coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily have a combative personality. You know, if conflicts arise, normally I try to just wait for it to go away. But in this particular instance, I know that I need to, you know, maybe address this with my boss. You know, the issue that I'm having with this coworker, so you know we can continue to work effectively. Because as I mentioned, we're in a small group and everybody works off of each other. We all need each other, so
Mm-hmm.
that's you know that's causing me a bit of it irritates me. It irritates me some of the things that she's doing. Um, and so that's causing a bit of tension.
All right. You're feeling some tension, maybe feeling some frustration as well with this particular coworker.
Yes, yeah, and I don't like that. You know, I really am an easygoing person. If there's two places I don't like to have problems at, and that's at home and that's at work. You know, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like to have that because one is your serenity and the other one is just really your survival, your you know your livelihood. And I just don't like it. I don't like that kind of stuff.
This-
So I know I need to address it.
It sounds like you don't like conflict at all, regardless of where it happens, especially in the workplace, which you just said it's your livelihood. And of course, you don't like conflict at home, which is where you go to rest. What are the what conflicts do you have at home right now that may prevent you, or maybe even exaggerate some of the conflicts you have at work right now?
Well, at home, you know, I have two small children, and you know, I'm married. I've been married for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a bit of an adjustment because we come from two totally different backgrounds. So I guess at this point, we're just trying to kind of feel our way out, you know, how
Mm-hmm.
we want our children to be raised, how we want things to go, and it's causing a bit of disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me uncomfortable because again, I don't like I don't like conflict.
Mm-hmm. You learn to compromise.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we mentioned that you had mentioned previously that your children are involved in a lot of activities. What are some of the activities that they are involved with?
Well, my daughter, she wants to be in Girl Scouts, which gives me a little sense of guilt right now because I'm pursuing something that I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's taking away from her doing something that that she really wants to do and needs. I feel like she needs to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she wants to be a part of Girl Scouts. My son, he's a terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
So he just terrorizes everything and everybody. Um, so he's not really a part of much, but just causing chaos
Mm-hmm.
in the house. But that's it for those two.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, it does sound like you feel a little bit guilty that you're that with your school schedule it would make it difficult for your daughter to join Girl Scouts.
Yeah. Yeah. I've discussed it with her father,
Mm-hmm.
with whom that's not my husband. I had her prior to, and he's willing to help me out, but I just feel a sense of because Girl Scouts I feel like is a mommy daughter type of thing, and
Mm-hmm.
something that she's expressing that she really wants to do, and I've tried to involve her father in it so he could kind of help me out when I'm busy. So that's something that we might look at in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it sounds like you have some hope that this is something that could potentially work out.
Yes, I think all things can work out. It might be a bit stressful,
Mm-hmm.
but with the right attitude, with a positive perspective of it, no matter how it turns out, or the fact that you pursued it, that's in anything, that's all gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. It's a goal to work towards.
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, it does sound like that, even though with like you say, you have all of these commitments, between family and that, between your own children, with your daughter wanting to join Girl Scouts, with you being in the graduate program, and even with the church, asking you to do other things along on top of all this. It sounds like, it can be overwhelming sometimes, but at the same time, you're keeping hope that you'll find a way through it.
Yes. With all the things that you mentioned, I try to take away something to kind of help me keep a peace of mind.
Okay.
Um, when I was in class the other night, I was discussing with my other cohorts, just the type of stress and all of this, and everyone is experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
So that allowed me to kind of look at my stress level a lot differently. I didn't look at it as if, oh, woe is me, I'm a victim, this is too much, I can't handle this. I looked at it as if, this is obviously the typical process that you're going to go
Mm-hmm.
through because you're not the only person feeling this way. So that allowed my stress level to kind of cool off a little bit.
Okay. You felt a little bit more relieved knowing that there are other people, your cohorts, that are experiencing the exact same thing.
Yes. Um, and I guess the same thing with work. Um, I have a family member that works with me as well, not in my department, but she works for the same company. We
Mm-hmm.
kind of discussed similar issues, and she just kind of reminded me that, yeah, you might get bogged down with this place, or you might feel tired, but any job that you report to, daily, that's a part of your daily life routine. At some point, it does become,
Mm-hmm.
mundane. But she's like, it's all about you taking it one day at a time. It's about your approach. It's about your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And with her saying that, it's just like, yeah, I know I do have to go to work every day. I know that I am going to be doing the same things. But, I can challenge myself, to try to do better than what I did the day before. So I took something. I took something from that.
Okay. You mentioned that you could challenge yourself to do better than how you were the day before. What are some ways you could challenge yourself to do better?
Well, as I mentioned to you before, I get several cases, 100 to 150 cases.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can work on my time management.
Okay.
Try to get things done at a swifter pace. Instead of getting 50 cases done in 30 minutes, I can get 50 cases done in 25 minutes. That way I can flex my time. Maybe I may have may have more time for a break, or may have more
Mhm.
time to, upload additional documents that I might need. So that's, one thing I can challenge. I can also challenge myself to get to work earlier.
Mhm.
Coming from the distance I come from, it's a 40-minute ride. So if I get to work earlier, I can kind of get there, relax a little bit, and get myself in the mode of working. That would help too, instead of just jumping right in.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, good. Yay. Thank you for coming, Angela.
Okay, thanks.
I'll holler. Okay,
That's
we're
good.
gonna
Now,
press
hopefully we
stop.
saved it.